Hi everybody, Sarah here from smallbusinesssarah.com, and today I have another bookkeeping tutorial video for you on how to do your TikTok bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online. I'm using QuickBooks Simple Start. There's a link in the description if you would like to get this bookkeeping tool for yourself. Before we get started, we're going to start by adding the accounts into QuickBooks that we need so that we can do our bookkeeping correctly. So we're going to start by going to the chart of accounts, and in the description to this video, there's a link where you can download your own chart of accounts to upload into QuickBooks. So I'm going to show you how to do the upload, but you'll need to sign up and get the download chart of accounts. So we're going to come over here, chart of accounts, and go import. We're going to browse for our file. We're going to hit next. This is going to fill in for you because our QuickBooks, our CSV file has headers, so that's going to be correct. We're going to hit next. These are all the accounts we want to put into QuickBooks. We're going to hit import. Now mine are showing that they're already in. These are already in QuickBooks. We don't need to import anymore. Yours is not going to have this, and you'll just import and be done. But mine are duplicates because I've already done this work. So that is all there is to getting the accounts in that we need. Now let's go to our bank account. So this is where all of our deposits from TikTok are going to hit. Hopefully you've selected on TikTok that you want everything deposited into your business checking account. And so when you get these deposits, the natural inclination is just to record these TikTok deposits directly to income. But if you do that, you're missing out on all the fees and other transactions that are involved with TikTok sales. And then if you happen to get a 1099 at year end, you're going to be hopeless if you just put all of that directly to income. So instead, one of the accounts we set up is called TikTok Holding. And I'm going to go ahead and select all of these TikTok deposits here that we have. I'm going to hit edit so I can do this as a batch. This is a deposit, and I'm going to select TikTok Holding. We set up TikTok Holding as a bank account. I'm going to go over that later about why. Apply and accept. Okay, so now all of that has gone to the TikTok Holding account that we created. To get to TikTok Holding, we go to Bank Register and then TikTok Holding. It doesn't appear on the bank transaction screen because it's not connected electronically to an institution that's pulling in transactions. Your deposits are going into your checking account. That is connected to a financial institution. Okay, so these are all the deposits we just added, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our deposit. We'll start with October because it's a bit simpler, and then we're going to do November, which is a bit more complicated. So in October, we had a deposit of $11.99, but there was some things going on behind the scenes with that $11.99, which is what we break out in our journal entry. So let me show you what I did here. So I dated this journal entry October 31st because the report we're using from TikTok is the finances summary for the month of October. And this is going to provide all the information that we need to correctly reflect our TikTok sales and fees in QuickBooks. So basically, the system is to kind of go down the list and enter all of these into our journal entry. The reason why I'm really basically taking every line item that they have and putting them into the journal entry. The reason why I'm handling it that way, normally I would combine a bit more, some of the fees, some of the income items, make it a little bit simpler of a journal entry. But TikTok is such a new platform, and I'm not sure when those 1099s arrive, what's going to be important information that TikTok is going to be using to create their 1099s, what they're not going to be using. The platform could be changing over time. I mean, it's brand new. So I chose to be very detail oriented and split everything out. If you at a later time decide you've got the hang of things and you want to combine some accounts, then I'm sure you can. Okay, so basically we're just going to start here with this subtotal number $11.99. And at first I used my TikTok sales account. Now remember, we've already put all of this into the chart of accounts. The first time you do it, you'll have to search and find the correct TikTok account that you want to use. You can start typing in the box and it'll start to come up as well, but I have this already set up for us. But that's how you would go about finding the right account to use. So TikTok sales, we're going to put the $11.99. And pay attention, the pluses and the minuses are going to matter. Across the board, the positive numbers over here, I'm putting in as credits. And then the negative numbers over here, I'm putting in as debits. And so far, that system has carried forward and been true across several months. So we've got $11.99 for our TikTok sales. $3.64 is customer shipping fee. So that's the amount that the customer paid in shipping income. So that's why I called that shipping income. $1.23 they paid in sales tax. Now, TikTok is a marketplace facilitator. So they are collecting sales tax. Here it is right here. And they are remitting sales tax. Here it is right there. And that's their responsibility. And that is very helpful because sales tax can be complicated. And usually sales tax is definitely not an income item. And so usually I do not include it in my breakouts when I do journal entries for Etsy, Amazon, other marketplace facilitators. I don't include it in the breakout. However, like I said, TikTok is such a new platform. I'm not sure. Some 1099s include sales tax. Some 1099s don't. So I'm just being very cautious, and I'm showing the sales tax collected as an in and sales tax remitted as an out. Ideally, I wouldn't show that. It's not income to you. It's not an expense to you, but I just wanted the full breakout available in your profit and loss for the reasons I just discussed. So we put sales tax collected here. Moving on to the fees, we've got actual shipping fee, so the actual cost to ship, and then the sales tax that TikTok remitted, and they net each other out as expected. So then the balance goes to TikTok holding. And what I mean by balance is in accounting, the credit column must equal the debit column. It must. So after we had finished putting in all of the credit information and all the debit information, the amount left over to balance the two sides of the entry will go to TikTok holding, and that amount was $11.99. So you can see what we did is we took the ins, we took the outs, and the balance, and then TikTok is saying they had a payout of $11.99. So let's save and close this. This is our journal entry. So basically our journal entry, it kind of goes in reverse order. The journal entry says we've got this much in sales less fees, $11.99, and then TikTok deposited $11.99. And because TikTok did not reserve any at the end of the month, they gave the full $11.99 to the seller. We have a zero balance sitting at TikTok. And that's what this zero represents. It represents how much money TikTok might be holding temporarily. It's kind of like a receivable. In our case, our net, our $11.99, which is the sum of all this activity, equaled the payout. So we're zero. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the profit and loss report. We'll go to reports, profit and loss, custom date, October, cash basis of accounting, run report. Now there's some other things on this report as well, but we're just worrying about TikTok. So now we've got our TikTok income broken out. We've got our sales, the money we collected for shipping income, which could be different from what we paid out in shipping expense, and the sales tax collected. So you can see how this is tying to the report. And then down here, we have our fees. We've got our sales tax remitted, our shipping fee. And that's how it looks on the profit and loss statement. Let's go back and do a more difficult month, the month of November. Okay, this is the journal entry for the month of November, journal entry date. We're looking at the finances summary for the month of November. And this is how it all ties out. Once again, I start with these small numbers here. We've got the subtotal, and that's the 382801. Once again, I put that to TikTok sales. Next, we have the TikTok income, the shipping income, agrees to customer shipping. So they call it customer shipping fee. That was a fee to the customer. That is income to us. Platform discount. So if I understand correctly, TikTok is doing a lot of discounts right now to get people buying on their website. So we've got a platform discount here as a negative, which you can see then I put that in the debit column. Moving along, we have the sales tax payment. That is a credit, so sales tax collected. Now we've got this bold number, the platform discount in bold as a positive. And that is the TikTok income platform discounts here. So you'll notice that the discounts is presented as both a minus item and as a positive item. And that is how I have shown it here as well. Moving on, we had some refunds. So you'll see that negative 23.8 and the negative 2.4 on the platform discount refund. So over here, here's TikTok refunds, negative in the debit column, 23.8. And I made discount refund a separate account from the platform discount, and I put that in the debit column as well as the 240. Moving on to the expenses, we had the referral fee. This is new. We did not have the referral fee in October, so that's this line right here. So for the most part, you can see I'm using the small, not bolded numbers, but every once in a while we need a bolded number, like the platform discount amount, the discount refund, the referral fee. So it's a combination. Mostly it's the small numbers, but sometimes we need the bolded ones. So the referral fee, you'll see I put that, this is in the expenses, TikTok shop expenses, referral fee. For shipping, I did the small numbers. I did the in and the out. The actual shipping cost is a negative, so that goes to shipping fee in the debit column. And then the shipping fee discounts is right here, platform shipping fee discount, and that's a positive, so I put in the credit column, 100727. And then moving on to the bottom, we've got the amount actually remitted in sales tax, so 291.32, and that was shown as a negative, so that's a debit. And then we have a sales tax refund, so that is shown as a positive, and I just created a separate account for that again. Once again, we've got our credit column, we have our debit column, and then this number represents the balance, the amount needed to balance the debits and the credits. This has continued to work out. It equals this number right here. So it lets you know if you are on track or not. The other two pieces of information we're going to look at now that our journal entry is done is this reserve amount and the payout amount. So our journal entry is done. We've filled in everything. You can just literally follow along with this, debits and credits. So here's our November entry, the 3639. We dated that 11/30, which agreed to that figure right here. Throughout the month of November, there were payouts. All these were the payouts in November. So it's like before the entry. And if you total up all of the payouts, starting with November 3rd, but all the way up through the December 1st payout, that probably left TikTok on 11/30, but didn't arrive in the bank account until 12/1. All of these total the payout amount of 358877, which is an agreement. And then you can see the reserve amount, $50.79 equals $50.79. So we are in agreement with what TikTok is reporting. And that's a good way to check our work, that the ins and the outs that we are recording agree with the ins and the outs of TikTok. Now, I do find it odd they put the reserve as a negative. That seems odd to me, but oh well, that was their call. I will say though, so this is November, I will say in the month of December, this payout amount was off by $4. And I don't see an explanation for it. Maybe there's a revised finances summary that I don't have. I just wanted to point that out, that although 2 months of mine have worked out to the penny, I did have a month where it did not tie to the penny, and also the reserve appeared to be off as well in December. And I don't have an explanation for that, but 2 out of 3 were tying exactly, so it's anyone's guess why that happens. It's not uncommon for these reports to be revised. I've had to go back in time to different service providers or marketplaces, Amazon, Stripe, and you're using numbers, and then lo and behold, those numbers have changed. So keep that in mind. Now let's go look at the profit and loss for November. Okay, here we are with the profit and loss for the month of November. And you can see all of our inputs here. Our main sales figure with shipping income, sales tax, refunds, all of that fun stuff. And 415824, 415824. Moving on to the expenses, you can see how we broke out everything. Now there are some negative amounts in the expenses, just like there's some negative amounts in the sales. And those are just for the items that when we input them are going in the opposite direction. And we just want to see the breakout of them going in the opposite direction. At some point, maybe it does make sense to combine these two into one line, but for now, we'll just keep everything separate. And then once again, we have the 518.68, 518.68. So now you can see, instead of recording 3,588.77 just straight to income, so those were the amounts that hit the bank account. Instead of just recording this amount straight to income, when we take the time to do it properly, we see that actually we had $4,000 in gross income less our $500 in fees. And that is a more accurate presentation of the financial situation that we have here. Well, I hope you have found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. If this video has been helpful, as always, I would really appreciate your like and your subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.